Welcome engineers to another episode of Automated. We are working on World 3 Level 7, our first level with a red difficulty of 4 stars. We're going for 5 stars as usual. Fantastic waters and where to spray them. Oh, it's one of these tiny maps. I'm sure we're going to have to use a lot of overclocking for this. We've got a bunch of resources. What are we trying to make? 60 automatic solar irrigation systems. 60 per minute should be fast enough for a minute 50-second wear up time. Okay, so we're going to go for one manufacturer. Where's our delivery point? Is it in the middle here? No, there's 3 materials back to back, side to side over here. A delivery point is in this corner, stuck behind a water thing. Oh my lord. Where would the manufacturer ideally even go? It can't go here, it would have to go here. That would be like our final delivery point for the manufacturer. Let's see where we need to, what we need to actually make to make this. So up the top, we made this last time, the solar control panels. Did we make a solar control panel last time? This looks very unfamiliar to me. But we need to make silicon plates, and we need 120 of these. An advanced press only makes 60. An advanced cutter, however, makes 120. Although we can overclock the advanced press now. As long as we supply it. No, we can't. We'd have to supply it with 240 of this. Ugh. Disgusting. I want to go with the advanced cutter version because that actually makes 120. And then we would need this solution, liquid deuterium, which should be fine. 120 of this. So we're making that. We need 60 of this and 120 of these into the advanced cutter. There's no thing that makes 120. We'd have to overclock the heck out of this. Oh, that is super complicated. And we'd have to make 60 of these solar cells as well, which needs another 60 of this. So we'd need to make 180 of these. Well, I'm definitely going to do one overclocked one and one not overclocked one. Let's see what else is involved. We need a manufacturer making 60 of these, which makes 60 of these. There's no alternate recipe for this. We need to make this astral lens thing, and then we need to make this stellar chromium module. Jeez, this is a tough one. Just playing around with what recipes to use for this would be already difficult enough. We're just going to pick one at random that makes the most sense to us. And we're just going to start making stuff, and I guess we'll go from there. What is the most painful thing to make? I haven't even looked at this part of the chain yet. I'm tempted to use all the same liquids, because if you're going to put a biofluxer down, we can reuse the liquid nitrogen from here to make that. That needs 60, 60, 60. This advanced press is only 120, so each one needs 120. And we need 2 of these. That means we need 240 of the refined ether quartz, which is ether quartz. Can we even make that much ether quartz? Let's have a look at our ether quartz first to start with. We have 300, which makes 5 belts of 60. 5 belts of 60. We need 2 here. We need 4 here. And just the 1 here. So we need to process all 5 of these belts. How did we split 300 into 5 again? We need to split this into 120 and 240. No, that's not right. 120 and 180. Then the 180 needs to then split into 3. How much power are we working with? 975. Okay. So instead of putting 4 dissolution chambers here, we should probably do 2 dissolution chambers. Because each one needs 120 and makes 60, and we need 120 of this. So if we feed it into an overclock dissolution chamber, we can make 120 into 120. I think that's definitely the way to go. Because that's too many dissolution chambers for this tiny little process, right? So then let's just put that down so we remember. And the other part of this is liquid nitrogen, which comes from nitrogen. Assuming we have nitrogen on the map. Put a dissolution chamber on that. Sorry, a biofluxor on that. I'm just going to run it from here. Let's do a split. Because you still need a splitter over here. And we need to tell it on the right to be at 240. And this one to be 60. That gets our 300. And then we can put this one on the right. Join up this. Bring that over to here. And that gets us our 30 and 30. Excellent. Why? This is flipped. Now we need to overclock both of these. And that's fine for 120. So that's our first component down, which is the 240 we need for this material. 240. And we can make 2 advanced presses or 1 overclocked advanced press. So it needs 60, 120 of these now. Is that green crap used anywhere else? No, just for this process. Is there any other way to do this? We can learn from our last mistake and not use the advanced furnace, or we can just use the advanced furnace. The advanced furnace is absolutely massive, but this material doesn't even exist on the map. Oh, we already made a mistake. Unless I'm blind. Where is this material? Chromium crystal. Am I going insane? I don't see a chromium crystal. There's no alternate recipes for any of this stuff. You need chromium crystal to do this process. It must be somewhere. Unless there's another way to make this somehow. I'm just blind. Ah, this is already made for us. I see. So we don't need to make it. We just need the 120 from here and the 240 from here into an advanced press. Like this and that. Then overclock. Why do I need to overclock this? Because we need 120 of it. Yeah. So that's this section done. That's one of the 2 items that go into the manufacturer. Let's find the other item that goes into the manufacturer. So liquid nitrogen again, sure. So we need to make the 3rd part of this. Why don't we do it here? There's the 3rd part of this, and we can, like, for now just loop this around the back somewhere, wherever we're going to need it. So there's our 60 per minute of that. It all goes into an advanced furnace. That thing is big. So it's all going to go into some sort of advanced furnace somewhere. Let's just get rid of that for now. We'll figure out how to get that into an advanced furnace at some point in our lives. But before it goes into an advanced furnace, we need to make this thing, which means we need to make this thing. And there's no choice about how to make this thing. Steel. So we've been given steel. We need to make this into a manufacturer. So we need to cut the steel into steel sheets. That's simple enough. There's our 120 that we need. Now we also need 120 of this. Where's the copper? Here. So we also need to cut the copper. And when these 2 things are cut, they go into a manufacturer. Like this. And then if we overclock the manufacturer, we get our 120 that we need. But it needs to be combined with astrolite, which is right next door, facing this way. And the astrolite goes into an advanced press. So like this. So I want to put my manufacturer here then. And that way we do something like this. We'll put our cutter on this side. And then we can do something like this. That makes sense. There's our 60 per minute that we need for this. And there's our 60 per minute we need for that. And that all goes into an advanced press. Advanced furnace, sorry. Like this. If only we could turn this in a way that brings it out this way. I'm sure this plastic is used for something. Let's just do it the dirty way first, and then we'll figure out how to clean this up later. If you're enjoying the video and you want to support Data Engineer Plays, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to share them in the comment section. Something like this. Just turn it the other way. Okay, there's our 60 astral ethylens. That needs to go into a manufacturer with this thing, so at least they're close. And that gets our 60 per minute of this irrigation system. That's what we've been after. Now we have to do the other half of the equation, because the irrigation system needs to mix with these crazy solar panel systems. So this is what it takes to make the irrigation system. Now we got to make the other half of the thing. When is plastic ever used in this process? We've got a plastic belt. I have a feeling it wants us to use plastic somewhere. There's an oil route to make this. Is the oil route better? So there's an oil here. If we don't use oil, we're biofluxing heavy water. Heavy water doesn't exist, so it's definitely the oil route. So we just need a distillation column on the heavy oil, mixed with 120 silicon, and all the silicon is here. Oil and silicon makes the polycrystalline silicate, but how many distillation chambers do we need? We need 120 of the final product. Either that or we're cutting silicon a lot. We're cutting silicon and using plastic. We need 2 advanced presses for that, or 1 overclocked advanced press, taking in 240 silicon plates. I feel like this is the method they want us to use, rather than doing all the other craziness with the other things. Salt water makes all of this, but then we need a dissolution chamber and make plastic molds. Do we have liquid chlorine, chlorine, or brine somewhere? Oh, we do have heavy water here, but we're blocking it off now with this thing. Damn. We can make the salt water process on this side. We've got plenty of room. Oh, there's too many options now. Let's see if we can even cut out 240 of this thing. It makes me think it wants us to... We can put 120 into each cutter. So if we just split it like this, and then we put cutters here, and then we overclock our cutters, that gets us our 240. Our 240 goes into an advanced press. Something like that. And how do we make plastic molds? There's no other way besides doing all of that stuff over here. So the standard way of making this. Let's see if we can fit all those machineries in. Sorry, this is not salt. This is aluminum. Do we have salt somewhere? If we don't have salt water, then we can't make this, right? Salt water makes brine. Do we have brine somewhere? We got our heavy water in the middle. I don't think so. I don't think we have salt. So we can't do it this way. We have to do it this way. Alright, let's focus on this way then. So we need advanced cutter to make 120. Coming into the advanced cutter, we need 60 of that. So that's just 1 welder. Coming in on this side, we need a doubled up dissolution chamber, taking in 240 silicon, okay, to make this, but we also need to make another set of it for this, because we need 240, right? This needs 120, and this makes 60. So we have to do something very similar to what we've done here, where we split this into a belt of 240 and 120, and it goes into 2 dissolution chambers like this and this. Need to hook it up with the oil distillation column. We'll go up and over. The oil comes from down here, like that. So that's making 60 and 60. But if I overclock one, then we're making 120 and 60. That's the 120 we need on this side into an advanced cutter. And the other 60 needs to go into something else. The other 60 needs to be mixed with aluminum, 120 cut aluminum. So if we just put a cutter on this aluminum, then we overclock it, we get the 120 aluminum we need. It needs to mix with this 60 over here in a welder. I'm going around the back into the welder. So this can go around the back and into the welder. That makes our 60 of this, which is what we need. And then that needs to go into an advanced cutter with this 240 here. So we go shift 5 for the advanced cutter and we put it, say, here. We can get one of these items in pretty easily. And the other one definitely needs to go up and over because there's no clear path for it. So I'm going to move this out one. Put a lift over here. Put a lift over here. And then hopefully join these two up. That makes 60 of this because this is only making 30 because we're not getting enough of this. Sorry. There we go. And there's our 120 of the final output that we need. I feel like I want to belt this around backwards. Put the cutter here. Overclock it. And then belt it around the back like this. No, it won't let me belt it around the back. What if we did a dip like that? That's a little bit of a hack. Oh. You had to do that. Okay, so that's belted around the back now. So that 120 can come straight out into a manufacturer to go out into here. And we didn't end up using the water, so we can shove the manufacturer one tile in if we wanted to. But also this thing. But there's so much pipe in the way, I can't even move this the way I want to. Like that, and then hook this up like that. And that gets our 60 solar irrigation system. And we're just one tile over. Are we sure we can't just link this up? And we're sure we can't link this up. Okay. One tile over, that's fine. Let's see if we got the 1 minute 50 though, and then what's slowing us down. Let's just validate this works first. Finally kicked off. Our time looks good because we kind of balanced everything. Nothing's taking too long to travel. Oh, I said it looks good. It's just 2 seconds over. So sad. 2 seconds over, 1 power over. We're like really close. I like this solution. We should just optimize something somewhere. Where to optimize though? To make it a little bit faster, this is already, whatever this is, needs to travel over to this advanced welder. That's fine. We're all traveling in the right direction. Is there anything that's traveling excessively? What is this thing? That's the gas. I'm wondering if this pathing is like just terrible. And would it be better if we did a more direct pathing for this belt? Because this would take ages for it to kick off this thing. That's the longest belt in my system right now. So if we got rid of this belt, for example, and we moved this one, say 1 tile this way, and then went that way, that here, then we can put a elevator over here, like that. And then we can do that, right? And this can go straight into an elevator. And then we can have a more like direct path for this straight into here somehow. But they both need to be 1 higher. Or not. We can do it here to here. if we move this thing out of the way. Need to go down one level. Put this back in. What is this pipe? This pipe goes all the way to... Oh no, I deleted the entire pipe that goes all the way here. Let me undo that. Don't want to delete the entire pipe, just want to delete a couple of segments. We can get that. That's a lot more direct than what it was before. And we just need to weave this pipe underneath. And across here. That's all happy. Now, what's happening here? This thing is not happy because it needs to go all the way around. But we can solve it by elevating the height. Like that. And like that. Then it can do that, right? And how's our power now? 961. We saved a lot of power. There's a big optimization we can do over here if necessary as well. But let's just run it. I think that should be a lot faster because now this thing kicks off a lot faster. And then this thing should kick off hopefully very soon. We're not trying to go for world first, we're just trying to get 5 stars, right? It should be easy. Ugh. Time. 152. What is the slowest belt? I'm gonna need to run this at 1 speed to see what is really slow. We need to shave off 2 seconds somewhere, but we got power, so all we have to do is like upgrade the belt somewhere. I want to see out of these 2 things, which one comes in first. So this thing is trying to start up right now. No, this thing is already started up. This thing has just started up. So this thing is slower. So now we need to troubleshoot why this thing is so slow. This thing is connected to this manufacturer. And that manufacturer is connected to this thing. So we need to figure out why this thing is so slow. This part of it comes out instantly, but we're waiting for this thing to come out. And then when this thing kicks off, that kicks off this thing. And then that allows this thing to start manufacturing. This was already waiting, and now it's manufacturing. So we just need to speed up a tiny little bit, like over here. Let's have a look if there's any obvious things that we're missing, which is if we did this on this side, then everything would be better instead of weaving it around the back, right? So we will want to move this thing over here somewhere, like that. And then we just want to split this crystal out differently. This thing can go like this. And then we can move these 2 dissolution chambers, one to the left. Oops. I'm just going to delete this lift because we don't actually need it anymore, so I can actually see more clearly. I'm going to cut the pipe here. And then we're just going to get rid of this pipe for now. We're going to move these 2 dissolution chambers, one to the left. And then we don't need this anymore. By moving it one to the left, we can move this one to the left. And why did we want to do that? Because then this can go out like this. We can do that. Ugh, that's not what I want either. Is there a 3-way splitter we can configure to get this out the way we want? There must be a 3-way splitter config that I can do. But let me hook this up again. So that's fine. And if we hook this up this way and then do that, that's 120, 120, 60. Why is this not having fun anymore? Because I need to connect both sides to get the 120. All right, that should be faster now. Now that this is coming out this side, we should be able to change this a little bit and then just get this going like that. So get that going a little bit faster, and we're even better for power now. And in theory, we should still be producing 60. And because this is all faster, that should kick off faster. That should kick off faster. This starts up faster. Everything starts up faster. And there's our 5 stars, placing us number 6 for time, number 4 for power, and number 5 for space. Happy with that. Let's have a look at some 5-star solutions. There is only one, I believe. 951 power. Is that better than ours? No, it's not better than ours. Is it better in time? 149. Not better in time than ours. This is someone else's solution. It's not as good as ours, so we won't analyze it too much. It's probably very similar. They've just positioned things differently. I'm not seeing anything majorly different that they're doing. But yeah, I think our positioning is actually better than this. And yeah, we're good.